A lot of people have been having issues understanding what cryptocurrency really is. There have been a lot of stories, a lot of theories about what exactly cryptocurrency is. So the purpose of this video, of this tutorial, is to introduce you to cryptocurrency in the most basic way ever. The aim of this tutorial is to enlighten you on what cryptocurrency really is, at least the beginner's guide to what really cryptocurrency is. It's the first of many series. Welcome to the crypto heaven. Follow me through. So what exactly is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency, as we all know, is a digital asset. It's a form of digital asset because we cannot see it. Maybe we cannot see it, yeah, but we can see the value. We cannot hold it, but it has a value, just like our stocks. If you're familiar with the financial market, you will understand stocks. Or maybe I should come real basic, like our storage space on our phone. If you check the storage space on your phone, you would see maybe you have 32 gig storage space. It has a value, but you cannot touch it. It is digital. So cryptocurrency is a form of digital assets which can be used as a means of exchange or storing value. It is not qualified to be called an asset if it cannot be used as a means of exchange or storing value. Just like your normal currency, your naira, your dollar, your euro, your pounds, or even your commodity like gold, silver, real estate, any of them. It is not qualified to be called an asset if it cannot be used as a means of exchange or storing value. So every asset has this in common. They can be used as a means of exchange and they can be used to store value. That is one of the things that qualifies crypto as an asset. So just like your fiat currencies, your naira, your dollar, pound, euro, just like they have institutions that distribute them, though they also print anyway, but let's look at the distribution aspects. Just like we have the fiat institutions, that's the central banks, world banks, that distribute these currencies, these fiat currencies. Just the same way we have, or rather cryptocurrency has the blockchain. But there's a difference. And that difference is what makes cryptocurrency better than your fiat currency. So before we go into what differentiates cryptocurrency from your fiat currency, what makes cryptocurrency so special? Why is everybody talking about cryptocurrency? Why is everybody trying to get a piece of cryptocurrency? We need to understand the system that distributes and controls cryptocurrency, and that is called the blockchain. So what exactly is the blockchain? The blockchain is to crypto, like I explained earlier, what the banks are to fiat currencies. So just the way you can perform cash transactions through the bank, that's how crypto transactions are performed on the blockchain. If you want to send money to a friend, if you want to send some pounds, some naira to a friend within the same country, all you have to do is take out your phone or go to the bank or go to the ATM, whichever way is more convenient for you. You go there and transact, you get the person's account details, account number, and the bank name, and then you send it to the person. That's just the same way cryptocurrency transactions are performed on the blockchain. You just need the person's wallet address. More on this later anyway. You just need the person's wallet address, the particular currency you want to send, then the network. The network in this case could be the bank. And then you send. It's just that this time we are our own government and bank management. So in as much as the banks are actually acting like the third party, the middleman between us and our friend whom we want to send money to, the blockchain is not like that. Let's look at this as an example. Let's look at the banking system, or rather the blockchain system, this way. You're my friend, you come to my house, you need food to eat. So what do? I just have to go into the kitchen and come out with food for you. Maybe I cook it that moment, or maybe I've had it all along. But I have to just go into the kitchen and get the food for you. And I give you hand to hand. I don't have to send it through anybody. You are in my sitting room or in my dining, and I just have to get the food, come out and present it before you, hand to hand, peer to peer. But the traditional banking system is a prison. Let's look at it this way. I want to, let's say a friend is in the prison and I want to get food across to that friend. The same food I just gave to my friend in the dining. My friend that came over to my house, same food I just gave him in the dining, hand to hand, peer to peer. I want to get it to my friend in the prison. I have to pass that food through a warden, a prison warden. That warden, in this case, is the bank, the middleman, the third party. Most times we are required to pay some money, so the warden will actually get the food across to whomever it is we want to get the food across to. That should account for the bank charges. But in cryptocurrency, it is me to you. There's nobody taking our money because we want to give you something or take something or send something or transact. There's nobody taking our money for that. You see, the blockchain system is peer-to-peer, like I've explained, which means it eliminates the third party or the middleman in the traditional financial system. Let's move on to the next thing. So, the blockchain. Basically, the blockchain is a digital system of recording information. And this information is duplicated and distributed across the blockchain network. What this means is, let's say you go to a bank. If you're familiar with banking, you know that when you go to the bank, you have to, fill in a ledger. And then when you fill in that ledger for your transaction, you fill in your transaction in the ledger. You leave the ledger, someone else's comes to fill it in. Now, I do not know if that particular ledger could get lost. If it gets lost and my transaction has not been entered into the system, my money is gone. Because no other person has access to that ledger except the bank. But the blockchain system is such that everybody comes to transact and everybody has a copy of that ledger. It is duplicated and distributed across the blockchain network. So even if you give me a transaction ID, someone else's own, I just have to put it in the blockchain, search for it on the blockchain, and see if that transaction actually occurred. So there's nothing like losing your money. I just have to put it there and I know that, okay, the transaction did not go through, and the transaction went through. No cheating. It's transparent. So in other words, it's a digital ledger of transactions that is built in such a way that makes it difficult to hack, change, or cheat the system or its users through the use of cryptography. So the system is not hackable. If it was hackable, the banking system is actually hackable, not cryptocurrency. Everybody is seeing the transaction. Nobody can manipulate the transaction. Once the transaction is entered, it is final. Nobody could come later with a correction fluid and wipe out what was there before and write something else. Nobody could throw away that piece of ledger and bring a fresh one for a whole new transaction and forget about the other one. Nobody can tear out a transaction page so that it cannot be traced. Once it's on the blockchain, it's on the blockchain. It cannot be removed. It cannot be changed. It cannot be hacked. Nobody is cheated. So this blockchain, this list of records, transactions and events on the blockchain are called blocks. That's how we got the name blockchain anyway. The list of records, transactions, even events that are recorded on the blockchain are called blocks. Blocks. That's what we call them. In order to identify them, we call them blocks. Just like you have, I call it receipts. I think receipts should do well in this one. So we have receipts that make up the ledger, or receipts that make up the invoice. The first cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually huge. Bitcoin bettered cryptocurrency and also bettered the blockchain. It's the first cryptocurrency to be created. It's just like the first fiat currency or the first paper cash to be created bettered the banking system we have now. That's the same way Bitcoin, which is the first cryptocurrency, bettered the blockchain technology, the blockchain system that we have now. So you cannot mention Bitcoin we cannot mention the blockchain without mentioning Bitcoin. You cannot mention Bitcoin without mentioning the blockchain. You cannot mention cryptocurrency without mentioning Bitcoin. You cannot mention Bitcoin without mentioning cryptocurrency. Vice versa. They go hand in hand. There are some features of the blockchain actually which makes it by far the best transaction system ever created that I've seen since time immemorial. And here are some of the features. Decentralization. I explained that there's no middleman. Everything happens on the blockchain. The blockchain is not controlled by somebody. Yes, the blockchain was created by people, but the people do not control the blockchain. You are in control of what happens, whatever happens on the blockchain. It's not controlled by people. It's not controlled by the government. It's not controlled by some Mongol, business Mongol, or some rich man. It's not controlled by any of those people. It's controlled by you. It's controlled by everybody. There's also no limit. There's no limit to transactions. Sometimes you go to the bank to make a transaction and then told that you've exceeded your transaction for that day. It happens like that once in a while. You see that they tell you that the transaction for that day is exceeded. So there's no limit to transactions. There's no limit to how much you can send at a particular time, except on some exchanges, which we'll get to later. There are no restrictions. You can open an account on the blockchain anywhere, anytime. It's not like, all right, I'm in Africa and then I cannot open a bank account in Sweden. It's not like that. There's no restriction. You don't have to use a passport to sign up. You don't have to use any means of identification to, own some cryptocurrency. Transact on the blockchain. There's no restriction. The only restriction is you. And there are little transaction fees. Little transaction fees. You could send $10,000 and then you pay just $0.7 for the whole thing on the blockchain. But we all know that is not readily available in the traditional banking system. A little or no, I don't really call those transaction fees, if you understand what I'm saying. Imagine spending like 2 cents for a transaction of $1 million. It's crazy, very crazy, and it's transparent. I spoke about that before. Everything that goes on in the blockchain is seen. Everybody knows what goes on in the blockchain, and then it is secure. I said nobody can change whatever happens on the blockchain. Nobody can hack into the blockchain. If the blockchain was owned or controlled by a certain group of people, then it will be hackable. You just have to get access to those people's admin password or usernames and then you get. But no, the blockchain is not like that. The blockchain is secure, totally secure. It uses cryptography, very secure. Everything is stored on the blockchain, not in some bank where somebody can break into. And the speed of transaction is fast. As soon as you're sending it, within seconds you're getting it. It's not like the traditional banking system where you have to wait for some days or some weeks or some minutes, depending on how the volume of the transaction and the location of the transaction before you get it. You want to send money, if you're in Nigeria, you want to send money to someone that's in Germany, you could maybe use Western Union or whatever it is, one of these big banks, and then you might have to wait for maybe 7 days, 3 days, 2 weeks, depend. But the blockchain is not like that. As you send it within seconds, you're already getting it, and it's immutable, which means it cannot be changed. Nothing on the blockchain can be changed. Everything that is innate is innate. Nobody can come today and say that, okay, you sent 5 Bitcoin to Mr. A, and then Mr. A tells the bank, tells the blockchain rather, that the blockchain should change it, or tell somebody to go on the blockchain and change it from 5 Bitcoin to 1 Bitcoin, so he takes the remaining 4 Bitcoin. Nothing like that. It's immutable. Nobody changes anything. Yeah. You see, every market, everybody, every company has a value. There's a value to everything. I must have heard of net worth. People have net worth, companies have net worth, even markets have net worth. What's a net worth? A net worth is the total value of a person's assets after you've minused or subtracted, I think, the liabilities and the debt. So markets have net worth, companies do, people have net worth. Just that when it comes to market like the stock market, the oil market, the gold market, even the crypto market, we change the name or the term net worth and we change it to a term, one of our jargons, and we call that market capitalization. That's what we use instead. And the crypto market capitalization is about $1.3 trillion. I think it has gotten to about $2.6 trillion as at now when this video is being made. That's going to about $1.3 trillion before. Sorry, $2.6 trillion before, but it's currently at 1.3 thereabout $trillion before. And why I so love this is because there's just a little over 10,000 cryptocurrencies trading on the crypto market right now, as opposed to the stock market, and yet it's already in trillions, $1.3 trillion, and just a little over 10,000 cryptocurrencies. Unlike the so many companies, so many stocks we have on the stock market. Now, unlike the traditional banking system that is free to print as many currencies as they can decide today they want to print $1 trillion notes, 1 trillion naira notes. As long as there is wood to do paper and there is paper to print, they can decide to print as much as they want to print. So unlike this system that can print as much currency notes as they can with reckless abandon and indiscipline, thereby, increasing inflation, reducing purchasing power, most cryptocurrencies, just like Bitcoin, have a fixed total supply. Bitcoin has just 12 million. There's just 12 million Bitcoin. Most of them have a fixed total supply. And what that means is, once that supply is totally minted or mined, we mint currencies, we mine cryptocurrencies. So once that supply of 10 million, or as in Bitcoin's case, 12 million, once it is totally minted, no one else, you cannot create one more Bitcoin. You can't create one more Bitcoin once that supply has been exhausted. There's the total supply, there's the total supply and the circulating supply. The total supply is the amount of it that has been created, both the ones in circulation and the ones in reserve. The circulating supply is the supply that is currently being traded, that has been mined. So once that supply is totally minted or mined, not one more Bitcoin can be created. And the beautiful thing about this is that it not only stops inflation, it also increases profits. Imagine it, how many billion are we in this world? All of us are craving and struggling to get 12 million Bitcoin. We are billions in this world. And then all of us are struggling for 12 million Bitcoin. Bitcoin becomes more than gold. And since everybody is struggling to get a piece of it, the price skyrockets. It's just like there's not enough fuel in the country. There's not enough gas, and you want to use gas. A lot of people like you also want to use gas. What happens is the price of gas, the price of fuel skyrockets. So you see that cryptocurrency is a gold mine. So a lot of people are usually confused when it comes to this. Be like, okay, since crypto is a booming market, I think I should just go all in. They're just like a little over 10,000 cryptocurrency. I could just invest like $1,000 in each of them, okay, and then just go all in. Start investing in every project. Any single project I see, I invest in it. No, wait a minute. There are a lot of things that actually contribute to our decisions. Just think back to the traditional market system, to the traditional system of doing business. Not all businesses actually succeed. Not all businesses actually succeed. It's not all businesses that succeed. You know that. So what makes you think that because crypto is a booming market, every project which could represent business in the traditional sense is going to succeed? As an investor or a trader, whether you are an investor in a company or you are a trader of the company's stocks, you do not just go all in and start investing or trading in it. You have to do some, especially when it comes to investing, you have to do your homework. Use cases. What does this crypto do? What does this crypto project do? What are they out to do? What problem are they out to solve? Just the same way with business. What exactly is the purpose and the mission and the vision of this company that I want to invest in? What do they really want to do that will make them worth my money? This is one of the things we look at before we pick a crypto coin to invest in. There's a total supply. How much of this coin is available? The lesser the quantity, the better. That is a common truth. The lesser the quantity, the better. I just gave an example with Bitcoin, 12 million. Imagine the whole world, and you cannot mention cryptocurrency without mentioning Bitcoin. So the whole world is definitely going to want to get Bitcoin. And then, as everybody is craving for Bitcoin, everybody is reaching out for to get some amount of Bitcoin, then the price skyrockets. So the total supply also plays another factor. Imagine making a cryptocurrency that is even more than the world population. It's going to take a whole lot of time for that crypto to yield some substantial amount of profit. Another thing we look at is popularity. How popular is this coin? Yeah, there are some coins that actually have high total supply, but if you look at the popularity, they are very popular. A lot of people are getting them, so you just know that, okay, these guys are actually going to get me good money, just like Bitcoin is popular. It's actually popularity that is making Bitcoin increase like this, because you cannot mention cryptocurrency without mentioning Bitcoin. And since you mention, whenever you're introducing cryptocurrency, you have to mention Bitcoin along the line. It gets more and more and more popular as people get interested in cryptocurrency. You understand? So popularity is another thing. Popularity, how many people are talking about this coin? How many people are investing in this coin? How many people are holding this coin? How large is their social media? Their social media following on Twitter, on Instagram, Telegram, Reddit, Medium, and a whole lot of other platforms. How popular are these guys? How popular is this project? I'm just giving a brief. We'll talk about fundamental analysis in the next tutorial. The next thing is transparency. Are these guys transparent? Do they really let us know what is going on here, or they just, tell us how to get the coin? They don't really tell us what they are doing at the background. Are these guys transparent? What is their plan? What is their project plan? What's the plan for the project? What's their roadmap? Do they say, okay, I'm going to do so and so thing with this project at so and so date, so and so time? Do they have that? Or they just want people to invest in it? They don't really have a plan on listing, and all that. Then who are the founders? The founders play a major role. If the founders of a particular crypto coin are not trustworthy, they are not experienced, they are not known, it's going to be hard to get people to trust in that project. So who are the founders of these projects? What's their track record? That is another thing we look at before we invest in cryptocurrency. There are a whole lot of other things that I'll discuss in the fundamental analysis class, but for now, this is everything that there is. Thank you very much for staying with me. This is a Crypto Heaven. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.